Okay, let's do it. First off, good morning, everyone. Just want to say thank you for joining today's webinar. My name's Lilli Williams and I'm the Partnerships Manager at BGL. Today we have Bethany and Jeremy from Registry Direct joining us. So Bethany is the lead designer and front-end developer, and we've got Jeremy, who is Registry Direct's software development team lead. Registry Direct was established in 2012 and provides share and unit registry services to thousands of companies and trusts operating in Australia, from startups to multinationals. They've built on this knowledge and experience to create a powerful SaaS platform, which is comprehensive, easy to use, and proven by client use and feedback. So before we dive into today's webinar, I will just cover some general housekeeping. Firstly, today's webinar will be recorded. So if you miss anything or you need to jump off early, you will receive a link to rewatch the webinar at a later date, along with the presentation. The recording will also be posted on our YouTube channel, so you can always reference it there. We do have the Q&A function available, so if you have any questions, please pop them in here. The Registry Direct team will be answering questions as they go, and then there will be an opportunity towards the end for any last-minute questions. So, Bethany, I'll hand it over to you to kick things off.
Thank you, Lilli, and thank you to BGL for organising this webinar. And also thank you to everyone joining us today. We really appreciate you giving us your time. Jeremy and I and the team have been putting a lot of work into this project over the last few months, and so now we're at the stage where we get to introduce it to everyone and get people using it, which is pretty exciting for us. So I believe you'll find this presentation very valuable, particularly if you service or intend to service any public companies, whether they're unlisted or listed. And in a nutshell, the primary benefit of the integration is to empower users to perform the extra legal obligations that come with listed and unlisted public companies over proprietary companies. And these obligations aren't covered by CAS 360, which leaves a compliance gap. So there are also some other features that will help you save time and deepen your relationship with your customers. So yeah, as Lilli mentioned, please jump in the Q&A if you have any questions, and yeah, we'll try and answer them during the presentation or at the end. So just what we're going to talk about today, I'll do a quick intro to Registry Direct. Then I'll explain what those extra legal obligations are. And I'll also run you through a summary of some of the most popular other features that our accounting clients use to service their customers, as well as some useful CAS 360 features for Registry Direct users. Then I'll hand over to Jeremy, who will give a demonstration on how the integration works. And specifically, he'll show you how to connect your Registry Direct and BGL accounts, how to import your companies into Registry Direct, how to match up your data, and then set up a nightly reconciliation. So to start off, for those who aren't familiar with Registry Direct, as mentioned at the start there, we're a provider of share and unit registry software, and we've been in operation since 2012, and we act as a registrar for large firms, but we've also built our own registry management system software, and that's what we use ourselves, of course, and it's the only fully featured software as a service registry management platform in Australia. So that's where our real strength is in the SaaS space. We service unlisted companies, listed companies, as well as fund managers. And our clients range from small startups to multinationals. So we handle thousands of registers with over 150,000 holdings. So we have a real depth of knowledge and experience to draw from. So onto the integration feature. Why integrate BGL and Registry Direct? Well, we know that BGL is a pretty comprehensive ecosystem, but we realised that Registry Direct integration could provide value in some key areas for particular customers, and that is unlisted and listed public companies. So while CAS 360 meets the needs of proprietary companies for asset reporting and ID verification requirements. For public companies, there are some legal obligations that are not covered. We're leaving you with some compliance gaps. So these are shareholder meetings, quarterly tax file number reports, annual investment income reports, and calculating and paying withholding tax on dividends. And I'll go into each of these in more detail. So shareholder meetings. Public companies must hold an annual meeting of shareholders, allowing shareholders to ask questions and vote on resolutions. So there's a lot of organising that goes into holding a well-run shareholders meeting, particularly if you're accommodating online attendance as well. And Registry Direct streamlines the process for you. We provide a simple wizard for setting up shareholder meetings, including dates, locations, meeting links, resolutions, voting directions and restrictions, and opening and closing voting. And we make all that information available to shareholders through invitations, online voting, and notice of meetings. And it also enables full flexibility between physical and/or online attendance. So this extends to sending out notices of meetings and invitations by email or post, and providing online proxy forms and voting for investors, as well as generating PDF forms for the less technically inclined. And just regarding the notice of meeting, the Corporations Act requires companies to follow investor preferences for receiving those. So Registry Direct captures those preferences from your investors. And because shareholders can vote online, you can follow voting results live, and you can have access to meeting results reports and can keep track of any vote modifications in an audit log. So the next is our quarterly tax file number reports. Unlisted and listed public companies must report to the ATO within 90 days any shareholders, TFNs or ABNs they receive. So instead of trying to keep track of this manually and then compiling it at the end of every month, the system can generate a QTFN report quickly and easily in our report centre. And we just recently introduced cross-issuer QTFN reports, which means that you can generate one single report for all your companies, which will save you a lot of time. And the report is designed to be lodged directly with the ATO business portal, so just straight into their system. The annual investment income reports. The AIIR details dividends and franking credits paid to each shareholder and any tax withheld. It must be provided to the ATO by the 31st of October each year. So this is a fairly complicated report that we produce. The AIIR specifications are regularly updated by the ATO, and our system keeps on top of all of those specifications. We keep it up to date for you, as well as retrieving the necessary data for the report automatically. So like the QTFN, it's quick and easy to produce and designed to be lodged directly with the ATO business portal. And lastly, calculate and pay withholding tax on dividends. So unlisted and listed public companies are required to calculate and pay resident and non-resident withholding tax on dividends and interest payments to the ATO. So the withholding taxes are calculated according to varying rates for both withholding types and treaty countries, and we maintain both of those rates tables on our platform. Our dividend system then just automatically calculates withholding tax on payments, saving a lot of time overdoing it yourself. It's all automatically taken care of. And then you can access total and individual withholding tax amounts in a payment summary report. And I've just got an example of that there up on the screen. And the payment statements produced by the platform also include that information for the investor. So those are the compliance gaps that you might be facing for your customers and how Registry Direct can help you fill them in. Now I'd like to mention some of the other useful registry management tools offered by Registry Direct. Firstly, we offer an investor portal for shareholders. That means shareholders can log in securely and get easy access to a lot of information about their investments. For instance, they can access historic communications, they can vote on resolutions, view their transaction history, download a holding statement, and update their contact and bank account details. So this can potentially save you a lot of manual administration in chasing up those things for your shareholders. There's also a read-only version of the investor portal, so shareholders can authorise their advisors as well to have access to their accounts and be copied in on communications. And we have a communication centre which acts as a central management hub for investor communications. So just to make shareholder engagement much easier for you. It has features like managing bounced emails, bulk sending custom attachments, and automatically producing letters to post for investors without an email address. As mentioned, shareholders can access all their communications in the Investor Centre. We've already touched on the dividend payments feature with withholding taxes, but it also manages your payments at every stage. So you can automatically calculate payments amounts based on flexible and detailed payment setup. We cover every eventuality there. You can produce ABA files for bulk dividend payments. You can automatically create and send out payment statements. And you can manage and retain failed payments. So it'll even send you a notification when a shareholder who's owed money updates their bank account details. So that's pretty handy. And we also have tools to assist in raising capital, so including a customized online application form. You can set up an offer, track payments, send invoices and receipts, and allot shares to successful applicants. We're also currently working on a big upgrade of our online application form, which we're looking forward to releasing in the near future. Plus many more additional features. These are all detailed on our website, so if you'd like to go and have a look, please do. And also, if you're a Registry Direct user, the integration also gives you access to CAS 360's additional compliance features for companies. So there's some of those that we don't do, but CAS 360 have got you covered there. So preparing board minutes. They have an automated annual review process and lodgement of ASIC forms. They have integrated e-signature technology for audit control. And of course, access to all the other great features offered by BGL within their ecosystem. So as you can see, combining Registry Direct with BGL creates a complete company management solution. So that leads to the ultimate benefit of this integration. So public companies are often your highest value customer with the greatest capacity to pay for advisory services. So integrating BGL and Registry Direct platforms provides you the capability to offer customers all these additional compliance and company management services. And therefore, you can develop a deeper and more valuable relationship with your best customers. So how does it actually work? I'll just hand it over to Jeremy now, and he's going to take you through a demonstration of the integration feature.
Thanks, Bethany. I'll just share my screen. So before diving into the demo, I'll just quickly explain or provide a bit of context around the integration between the two platforms, what it does, the problem that it addresses, and how it can help you use the two platforms efficiently side by side. So as Bethany has mentioned, both CAS 360 and Registry Direct provide a suite of complementary features which, when used together, can offer a more holistic company management solution. However, the issue is that they both manage company data completely independently. So what that means is if you edit data on one or both platforms, then that change isn't going to be automatically reflected in the other. So this can lead to a situation where there are discrepancies between both, and identifying what those discrepancies are can be a time-consuming and difficult process. So what our integration does is it will identify explicitly what the discrepancies between the platforms are, allowing you to fix them up and then have in-sync data between them so you can get the most out of both at the same time. So let me show you how that works. So the first step is actually connecting the two platforms together. So I'm here in the Registry Direct Client Center, which is the part of the Registry Direct platform where you can manage all your companies. So in here, we have an integrations menu and a connect your BGL account button. This works pretty similar to many other integrations you've probably used, but you can click this button. So it'll take you over to BGL. If you're not already signed in, it'll prompt you to sign in. If you have access to multiple firms, it'll ask you to choose a firm, and then you can simply authorize Registry Direct to have these permissions with your BGL data. Once you do that, you get redirected back to Registry Direct and the accounts are synced, and Registry Direct can now access your data. So I'll just switch over to a different client that I've previously set up some more interesting information in. As you can see, it's connected with my account, and this is the firm in CAS 360 that it's connected to. If you click this basically lists out the companies within CAS 360 that have been pulled into Registry Direct. As you can see, I'm in CAS 360 here, and I have my 3 companies, and they're reflected here in Registry Direct now. So from here, the next step is to match your CAS 360 companies to your Registry Direct ones. And there are 2 different processes here. So if you're already an existing Registry Direct customer and the company is already set up in Registry Direct, you can simply choose the matching company to match it up. So here we have Demo Company 1 from CAS 360, and that's already set up in Registry Direct. Simply click and it matches it up. The other method of matching it up is if you have a company in CAS 360 that doesn't exist in Registry Direct, we have an import process. So basically you just click import, you'll do that, it'll go off in a background task, it'll create a new Registry Direct company issuer for that company, it'll import the security classes, it'll import the shareholder information, and it will import all the transactions. And it'll match all those up between the platforms. So at that point in time, it will create a fully matched, fully reconciled register on both platforms, or in the Registry Direct platform. So from there, you can click through to an individual company's portal. So I'll do that now. So what we have here is now, this is part of the Registry Direct platform that's showcasing the information for a particular company, in particular the demo import company here. And we're looking at the BGL integration screen on that company. So the next thing to note here are the settings of the integration. So we've catered for a number of different settings to configure how you want to reconcile the data. So depending on what particular data you want to be alerted to the discrepancies of, you can set that up how you like here, whether it's you're only interested in security class information, or you want to check differences between shareholders, and if you want to look at only their balances, or you want to look at all their transactions. The last setting is email notifications. You can select users to receive notifications, but I'll touch on that a bit later. So the other part of this screen is where all the reconciliation and variance identification happens. We have 3 tabs here for the 3 different data types: security classes, holders, and transactions. And these tabs will identify whether there's unmatched data points or there are data points that have variances between the 2 platforms. So each of these tabs will have the BGL data on the left and the Registry Direct data on the right. And by default, these tabs will be filtered to only the data where there needs to be something happen to fix them up. So either a variance or they're unmatched. So I'll take you through each of these tabs and just show you what they showed. Here you can see that ordinary shares from BGL for this company has been matched with ordinary shares in Registry Direct, and that there is a variance flagged for the total number of securities on issue. The number is different between each platform. And the other thing here it's saying is that there is another security class, Class A shares, that exists in Registry Direct, but it doesn't exist in BGL. So I'll move on to the Holders tab. Again, BGL data on the left, Registry Direct data on the right, and it's been pre-filtered by only ones where there are unmatched or variant data points. So if we look through these shareholders, you'll see that this particular one, it's been flagged as a variance. The address is different in between them. And for this one, there is a variance in the name. However, this name, it's only a slight variance. It has an and there and a plus here. And in these cases, you might want to ignore this variance because it's essentially the same thing. What you can do is click this, that will ignore that, and it will stop the notification from saying it's an issue showing up. But this will only ignore this until this data changes from what you've actually ignored. So if someone was to update this name completely and it's different to what that is, then this ignore variance would disappear and that would show up as a variance again. So next we have a BGL shareholder, Ryan here, who's not matched to anyone in Registry Direct. However, we have Ryan down here as an unmatched holder on the Registry Direct side. So to match them up, you'd simply just select Ryan from this side and it's matched up. Here we have another investor from BGL. However, it hasn't been created in Registry Direct, so you need to make a decision whether you needed to create that or for whatever reason it might need to be deleted from BGL. But it alerts you to the fact that there is a difference there. The last tab we have here is the Transactions tab. Again, BGL on the left, Registry Direct on the right. This shows all the matched shareholders and their holdings in any security classes that they have. These are showing variances between the number of shares that they're holding between the 2 platforms. And then you can drill into seeing what transactions make that up. So we have this match transaction between the platforms. However, there's a transaction here on Registry Direct side that isn't matching anything on BGL side. And again, this particular shareholder has a discrepancy between their number of shares. But this time, a transaction exists on BGL side that hasn't been matched with one on Registry Direct side. So basically, these are the 3 main tabs that will show you all the discrepancies between the 2 platforms, making it easy to identify what they are and to keep them all in sync. The last thing I'll talk about is the data refresh. So the Registry Direct platform will refresh data from BGL each day. And when that happens, if there are any unmatched data points or any variant data points, an email will be sent to people identified in this setting, and they'll get an email that will look something like this. it'll just say that, whether there are unmatched or variant data points and what they are. And this will contain links back to the relevant tab showing you what those things are. So you can easily keep on top of any variances and keep the data all in sync. If you do want to refresh the data ad hoc, we do have a button, so you can click that and that will just pull in the most recent BGL data at that point in time. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully that gives you a good idea of what the integration can do and how it can help you use both platforms efficiently and effectively side by side to take advantage of the complementary features both offer. Yeah, hopefully that all made sense. Thanks for listening, and I might pass it back to Lilli now to facilitate any questions we have or finish up.